Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa in reverse with the Honda NSX Group 4. This is on racing medium tires with BOP turned on, and we cannot tune the car, so tuning is disabled. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this started by bringing ourselves towards the right side of the track, as you're going to be looking for the 100 meter board, as that is your first braking point. You're going to brake just after you pass the 100 meter board that is on the right, so full braking power, and turn in before the curb on the right ends. You will make your way down to second gear, that way the car can rotate a bit more and ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. And you can let the car coast for a moment, so no braking, no throttle input, that way the car rotates a bit more. But for the first chicane, you're going to brake before the 50 meter board and make your way down to third gear. You want to turn in before the curb on the left ends, and you want to be careful about the curb on the right, because if you take too much of it, you do risk unsettling the car. So you want to kind of just graze that right curb. Then bring yourself towards the left, because you're braking just as a curb on the left starts, so just before the 50 meter board. And you're going to make your way down to first gear, that way the car can rotate a lot more, and you want to gradually ease on the throttle as you want to try to get a fast exit out of this hairpin. Now this is where things get a little awkward, because we're about to approach the chicane of awkwardness. So as you approach the chicane, you want to start to ease off our throttle so you can get yourself set up for that chicane. Then you're going to start to brake right around here, so before the curb on the right ends, and you want to do lots of braking and throttle control to try to keep the car settled as you go through the chicane, especially if you really try to cheese the chicane by taking advantage of the curbs. And you really want to take advantage of the curbs in time trial, but in the race you can take it a bit more easy to reduce the risk of upsetting the car's balance. Now for this long right turn, you want to turn in before the curb on the left ends and start to tap on the brake so you can bring yourself a bit closer towards the curbs on the right, even going down to fourth gear. But once you get on the throttle, you can take a little bit of advantage of the curbs on the right to help yourself with a bit more turning in, especially as you exit that long right turn. Now for the S's, you can take this left turn flat out, but for this right turn, you want to ease off our throttle so you can turn in a bit more. You might need to use a little bit of braking to make sure that you don't go onto the grass. Now for this final long right turn, you're braking and turning in just as you reach the 50 meter board. And you want to do a lot of trail braking, so you see me using around 25 to 50% braking power, even gradually going down to third gear to try to give a bit more rotation. Then just as you're pointing towards the final grandstand, that is your cue to get on the throttle and make use of the entire width of the track. In a moment we'll go through all this again, but this time I will not stop the video. Alright, let's get started with the new lap. So bring yourself towards the right side of the track, brake after the 100 meter board, and make your way down to second gear, slowly easing off of the brakes as you're turning in. So doing a little bit of trail braking, then bring yourself towards the left, gonna brake before the 50 meter board and turn in before the curb on the left ends, raising that right curb and getting on the throttle as soon as you can to try to get a fast exit, especially as you're now going uphill. Then brake just as the curb on the left starts, going down to first gear for more rotation, but stay on first gear, gradually make your way back onto the throttle to try to get a fast exit out of the hairpin. Now for the chicane of awkwardness, you can lift off our throttle to set yourself up for the chicane, and then use braking and throttle control to try to keep the car nice and settled as you go through the chicane. And it does take a bit of practice to get it nailed down, and in the race you don't want to be too aggressive there. You don't want to cheese the curbs as hard as you do in the time trial. Then for this long right turn, just tapping on the brakes and going down to fourth gear to get a bit more rotation, and you can use a bit of the curb on the right to help yourself with even more rotation. Then for the S's, left turn is flat out, right turn Little lifts off the throttle, maybe even a little bit of braking if needed, especially during the middle of the race. Then brake and turn in before the 50-meter board, doing lots of trail braking, trying to stay towards the right side of the track and then get on the throttle as soon as you can, so once you're pointing towards the final set of the grandstands. But that is going to be it for this lap guide. Hopefully this lap guide helps you out a bit, and if you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do have a membership program thing that you can check out down below if you want to further support this channel. That is all for me. So this is Mr. MCA telling you to stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next video.